Hey, I'm Herald sports writer Manny Navarro here at the Citrus Bowl with my homeboy, Andre C. Fernandez, who's celebrating the Champagnat State Championship still. How do you feel?
Pretty good, man. Proud of my school. I mean, I'm trying to, I was objective. I did my job. I stayed out of it. I let you handle the Champagnat game because I didn't have my reporter hat on that day. But, very proud of my school for 4 years to come from nothing, literally, to a state championship. It's pretty good.
Did you take the paint off your chest, the big C?
Nah, I never paint, man. I just had a cap and I brought out my class ring, but left that all at home tonight after Booker T's win, though.
Booker T. Washington, well, they finished the job. They beat Jacksonville Bulls 40-21 here in the Class 4A state championship game just a few moments ago. Treon Harris, big night for him, big night for Mark Walton running the ball.
Yep.
Dre, what do you take away here from the 26th win in a row here for Booker T. Washington?
Well, having covered Booker T 10 times this year, I mean, a dominant team that just found a way to win every time, different ways. I mean, you talked about defense, Treon Harris, saving them, over and over sometimes whenever he'd make like tremendous plays. We saw a crazy play tonight when he hit that pass to Walton. But just a team that really right now, I could see them doing this again next year. Maybe a national championship, I don't know. They are going to lose some pieces. But, Tim Ice Harris, he's done him and his coaching staff, the most consistent team in Dade County. And you got to say statewide, maybe even nationwide right now, the way they're going 26 in a row. They're going to challenge Northwestern's record of that 37 in a row next year if they can bring, they're going to have good guys in different spots. And what they do best, too, is I think they let their young kids gain experience, and not just in garbage time. They put those kids in second half, early in the third quarter, still playing against other team starters. And that's going to pay off.
Ice Harris joining rare company, becomes only the fourth coach in Dade County history to win 3 state championships. The great Nick Cody's from Coral Gables won 4. Billy Roll won 4 during his time.
Frazier, yeah, can't forget the conductor.
The conductor cap, that's right, 3 at Carroll City. So special congratulations to Ice Harris. Booker T, we talked about it already. They're going to be a great team next year, but there's that rumor out there: is Ice going to take off for the next level? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you asked him, and it didn't sound like he would. I mean, I really can't see it. I mean, if he's back next year, I mean, unless a college job really does pop up, I wouldn't leave. I mean, he's got a great situation right here at Booker T. I mean, tremendous support that team has from its school, from its faculty, And they mean a lot to that community. They really do. I mean, to have this championship and maybe in a couple weeks have a national title as well, you'll see they'll probably have a parade in Overtown. It's a feel-good time for that Overtown community.
All right, talking about parades, I don't know if they're going to have one at Champagnat, but they might after their big victory. We watched that one Friday afternoon. The Lions basically winning with defense. They get 2 early touchdowns from Michael Frederick, the junior tailback, one from 4 yards out, one from 10 yards out, and then they hang on with defense, but it was close and tight towards the end.
I was going to say, we need a fundraiser just to get them to Orlando. You want a parade now, too? Well, maybe if they can get
a few more scratch-off tickets.
Yeah, definitely. That's a crazy one, too, for sure. But, yeah, the Champagnat, I mean, to get up here, we've seen it time and again how teams, will get up here and they'll struggle because they've never been here before. The stage gets to them. They didn't let that happen. They jumped out in front, and impressive defense, because one thing, you always saw the Lions put up a ton of points game after game this season, but they had some injuries to key guys. Frank LeBady was one of them, and they were able to just rally around and really hang on in some tough circumstances in those final 3 minutes where they really could have choked the game away. And they didn't. They made some big plays, got to the quarterback, and, hey, I mean, that could be the start of something big for that program, too.
Of course, we had 3 state semifinals. Let's talk about the Broward County team, the only one that's left. Plantation American Heritage, Bill Daly and I drive down to Lake Wales, watch them basically dominate from the opening kickoff on. Sony Michel, they're getting a state.
Yeah, I mean, again, Sony Michel, another good game. But overall, I think they showed their depth. And, they just overwhelmed their opponents right now. And I think it's the experience they've had all season of traveling. Going to Lake Wales, that's nothing to them now. They've been pretty much all over the state. They've won games against quality opponents. One team they beat at home was Mainland, who we're going to talk about in a minute, Central beating this week. So they're not going to be fazed by anything they see. But, of course, now they're going to get probably the craziest story statewide, that Clay team from Green Cove Springs. They'll play a game in the 70s and win. They'll play a game under 10 points and win. it's an intriguing opponent for them.
Absolutely. The 5A title game here Friday at 1 o'clock. We'll be back here for that one. All right, let's talk about the two Dade County teams. Dade County got 2 titles this week, and they got a chance to get 2 more. Let's talk about Central and that win. Without Joe Yearby, it was tight. They were down early, but you were there to watch that one. Drove all the way back from Orlando to Miami to catch it. Just talk about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was the night of threes. I mean, Dalvin put on the number 3 in honor of Joe. And, every time Devontae Phillips scored a touchdown, it seemed like he put up the number 3 also, to dedicate that to him. And he was the star of the game, really. I mean, 8 catches, 211 yards. The passing game, Keith Reed on the money. Whenever he got time to throw, he was able to find him. And it shows you that Central can go to that dimension offensively when they have to, because this time they really did. Mainland's defense was very good. Shut down Dalvin Cook to about 73 yards, which isn't easy, but credit to them. But if the Rockets can throw the ball like that, take some pressure off the running game, they'll have a good chance against Armwood.
Well, they'll get Armwood, as you mentioned. How about South Dade? This is a team I kept expecting to lose, Dre. You had faith in Khalil Render and company. They come through. They dominate Palm Beach Gardens 37-10.
Yeah, I mean, Render, they've done it. I mean, luckily for them, it didn't rain because the last 2 weeks it's been a monsoon, mud first, then a monsoon at Travis Powell. It seems like now they were able to get the passing game going, in the dry weather, and Khalil Render did his thing. I mean, 5 touchdown passes, and kids had an amazing year. If it's not him, it's Johnny Hankins. And kind of like what we said a little while ago about the Overtown community, this is something special for that Homestead area. None of those teams down there had ever really made it. Well, I never made it this far, really. So I expect a pretty good crowd here to support South Dade next week.
All right, Dre, it's time to drive back home from Orlando. Going to go visit our buddies at American Heritage before they come back up here this week.